Warning, there is a good chance Bitcoin Mike has no idea what he's talking about. Do your own research. Enjoy the show. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, crazy stuff in crypto. Let's see what's going on today. Let's listen to this little recap here on CNBC. CZ Binance also shares his thoughts on the situation.
The investigative team on how all of this unraveled at FTX. According to a source familiar with company operations, the quant trading firm founded by Sam Bankman-Fried, Alameda, was using customer funds from Bankman-Fried's crypto exchange, FTX, in a way that flew under the radar of investors, employees, and auditors. We spoke to sources who say FTX and Alameda kept these assets off of their balance sheets, and FTX drastically underestimated the amount it needed to keep on hand if customers wanted to cash out. Part of that issue was the way that the exchange was accounting for margin trade. So according to the source, it allowed clients to borrow crypto from each other, and it was not properly tracking the value of those. Alameda was also trading on margin and using a cryptocurrency created by the FTX exchange called FTT as collateral. We also spoke to some current and former employees who say it was a small inner circle that knew about this alleged mishandling of funds. Bankman-Fried declined to comment on that, but he did tell CNBC a margin position took a hit, as he put it. A lot of other news, guys, over the weekend when it comes to FTX. Some users appear to have found a way to move money off of the exchange through essentially a back door in the Bahamas. Data from Argus telling me it found unusual trading patterns when it comes to NFTs.
Some users, I think we know who those users were. Sam Bankman-Fried and all of his cronies in the Bahamas. Man.
Some of those digital collectibles that traded for about $9 a few weeks ago were selling for as much as $10 million this week on FTX. Argus says those patterns suggest desperate customers were looking to users in the Bahamas for help, since that was really the only jurisdiction allowing customers to cash out. Bahamas police, meanwhile, say they are now investigating FTX and whether any criminal misconduct occurred. FTX also.
Yeah, so Bahamas is a great place to vacation. They got some amazing beaches, but folks, it's a third world shithole. That's the one reason I'm glad I'm a United States citizen. And I can actually, I'm a Greek American. Half my family is Greek, and I used to go to Greece all the time. And my father passed away like 20 years ago, and he left me some property. And just getting a hold of that property in Greece, which I wouldn't consider Greece a third world shithole, but it's definitely nowhere near as civilized as America, especially the way they do business. Like, if you call your attorney in Greece, he's sleeping half the day and nothing's ever open. It's just like, once you start doing business in other countries, like, you're so glad like you have America and America regulation, even though American regulation failed us on the whole crypto situation. But this FTX was basically based out of the Bahamas, so the United States had nothing to do with it. But yeah, I mean, so basically everybody in the Bahamas, they're still allowing people to take money out in the Bahamas. So you have people basically paying for KYC in the Bahamas. They're trying to get fake residency in the Bahamas so they can get their money off FTX. I mean, what a giant shit show. And then, of course, you have Sam Bankman-Fried and his cronies basically taking money out. Good news is it does look like Sam Bankman-Fried is on house arrest right now in the Bahamas in his $33 million mansion. So, that's where he is. All right, folks, what I've been saying the last 6 months, Richard Hart, man, you got to listen to Richard Hart. He's called it right. He was on Crypto Banter this morning gloating. Let's take a listen. You got to love Richard Hart. And I actually bought more Hex today. So here's what I did, folks. I had a bunch of Metaverse coins on KuCoin, and some of these Metaverse coins, I can't even figure out where to even store them. Like, some of these wallets, I just can't even figure out. Like, some I could figure out on MetaMask, but other ones I couldn't figure out. So I sold some of them today because I really don't want to hold anything on KuCoin anymore. I just don't trust it. And I basically, cashed out a few $100s, just some shitty Metaverse coins that have gone down to nothing. Cashed that out, and I bought some more Hex today. I am basically turning into 100% a Hexican because this mother effer, Richard Hart, called it right over the last year. He's the only one, maybe Gareth Soloway, but Richard Hart was warning people and doing so much more than Gareth Soloway. You got to give the guy credit. And if you're not following Richard Hart at this point, it's like, what's the matter with you? All these guys, even the guys who pretending that they're so great, like BitBoy and Crypto Banter, Crypto Lark, every YouTuber, who was accepting paid promotions led you right into the gutter, but Richard Hart did not. So that here was on Crypto Banter this morning. Let's listen to a couple minutes. It's always fun listening to Richard Hart.
What's going on here? He's wearing a black t-shirt. She's wearing his outfit. So look, Rich, I know you want to say, I told you so. I know you want to say, I told you so. So just hold on. Let me give you your 2 minutes so you can say, I told you so. Just a sec. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to play it.
You people watching right now are going to lose millions of more dollars because you avoid the wonderful advice that I give you for free. Not your keys, not your coins. You got admin keys, you're going to get wrecked. It's that simple. It's that easy. Cryptocurrency was invented to get rid of counterparty risk. You are injecting counterparty risk by giving other people your keys. If you're giving other people your Bitcoin for yield, you can lose your money. If you're giving other people your crypto for yield, you're going to lose your money. We've got trustless systems now that remove the need for trust. Use them. This is what Bitcoin was invented for. So I try and save people. You people.
So that was the first one. There were many more. I mean, I'll show you one more.
Lots.
There are many more.
Great harm. So let's take FTX.
Bruh.
If you have money in Celsius, pull it. If you have money in BlockFi, pull it. Or when you never get your money back, don't be surprised.
Bruh.
You people watching right now are going to lose millions of more dollars because you avoid the wonderful advice that I give you for free. Not your keys, not your coins. You got admin keys, you're going to get wrecked. Cryptocurrency was invented to get rid of counterparty risk. You are.
Anyway, Richard Hart's right, man. I cannot find one thing he was wrong about, crypto related, of course. I mean, look, like I said in a previous video, I don't know if Richard Hart is a spawn of Satan. I don't know much about the guy. All I know is he's been right about crypto. I am 100% a hexagon at this point. If this guy says something, I'm listening because he's called it all. So he's calling for basically a $12,000 Bitcoin now. He says 12,000 and pray, which the way everything's going right now, you know, if we're down to 14,000 and some big ass freaking exchange collapses at that point, yeah, 12,000 and pray. And that could happen because we're in very, very scary times right now with crypto. And I was thinking about this the other day. I haven't felt this in my stomach since the COVID drop. And that's how I know we're coming close to the bottom, but that bottom is still might be another, 40, 50% away. Maybe we'll be looking at like a 15 cent or a 20 cent Cardano at that point. I hope not, but well, actually, whatever. I'll just buy. I don't care. I'll just buy. But it's crazy times, folks. So that's Richard Hart. You got to be following Richard Hart. He called it right. And then, of course, you have BitBoy. Look, I give BitBoy a lot of shit, but it does look like he might be onto something here. There's this Dan Feinberg or Feinberg who was involved in some poker website about 10, 15 years ago where they basically had a back door so they could see everybody's cards and they were ripping people off. And now this Dan Freiberg apparently was also associated with FTX. He's an attorney, and he was basically the counsel for FTX. We can listen to it a little bit, but this might be BitBoy's big claim to fame right here. I mean, he may have pulled himself out of the gutter because he's really might be onto something here. And it looks like a lot of the insiders who know about this Dan Freiberg are sending BitBoy information, so he has that going for him. And it might be political connections as well. I mean, the kind of scary stuff. We'll listen to a few minutes of this. It is interesting.
Together to tell the story of who Dan Freiberg is. Now, here's what's so crazy. The original publication of this article went out on a website that was part of a larger news network. Within 30 minutes of me posting the link, I kid, this is true. Within 30 minutes of me posting the link, the entire news network went down. Their servers were attacked. These are the best hackers in the world that work for FTX, that have worked for Daniel Friedberg. He's been actually doing things on the internet that people thought were impossible for many, many, many years, almost 20 years, actually, to be honest with you. There's also some connections, by the way, from Dan Friedberg to Mt. Gox. So if you really start digging into that, you might find he might have actually been involved in that as well. But I want you to go look at that pinned tweet. I want you to read that article. You can do that right after we get off of this video here. Then I want you to scroll down. There's actually a post where I put 3 pictures of Dan Freeberg, including his LinkedIn page. Guess what? LinkedIn page, gone. Doesn't exist anymore. Boom, gone. He scrubbed the entire internet of his existence. There's also a video within that article. So the article was then posted to a Facebook group. So that way you could read the entire thing and not have to worry about getting taken down, because it can't get taken down off of Facebook. In this world of internet scrubbing, you have to basically learn ways to be able to post things so the hackers can't get them and they can't take them down. Because Dan, I'm sorry, you can't run from me. You can't. I don't know if this has been something that's been clearly shown over this SBF debacle, but when I get you in my sights, you're done. Our army's too big. The Bit Squad is too big. And guess what? Now they're all pissed and they're coming after you, Dan, so you better get ready. So you can go find those pictures. There's actually a video contained in that article of Dan admitting that they counterfeit coins.
So yeah, very interesting. So we'll see what more BitBoy post. Also with the FTX website, you know, they're basically what he was doing with the poker website is you could see the other people's cards, which of course they called it God mode. But they were doing this also with the FTX exchange, where if you had your stop losses set and all that, they could see your stop losses, so they basically knew how to outtrade you. And that's why FTX was always liquidating people and was raking in all that money until they really started playing with users' funds and all that good stuff, or all that bad stuff, I should say. Very interesting stuff, so we'll see what BitBoy uncovers with that. I guess there's one other thing here. Everybody's talking about what's the next exchange that's going to collapse. A lot of people are saying Crypto.com. Apparently, they were like sending a bunch of stable coins around. They also had they sent like $400 million to Gate ISO by mistake, which was weird. Probably wasn't a mistake. But Crypto.com CEO addresses whereabouts of the $1 billion in stable coins sent to FTX. I mean, I'm almost confident if there's a bank run on Crypto.com, they're going to go under. Even though the CEO says it's not the case. I mean, if I had any money on Crypto.com, I'd be taking it off. Like I said, folks, I was big on a KuCoin for my metaverse coins. I'm no longer on KuCoin. I have 80% of my stuff right now in hardware wallets, and then I have some stuff on Binance and Coinbase. Basically, just you need to put yourself in the position where if the exchanges go under, all of them, Binance, Coinbase, whatever, you're okay. So if you want to keep like 20 or 30% on the exchanges, that's great, but I wouldn't do any more than that. But then, of course, you have different risk levels of exchanges. Crypto.com, Gate ISO, very, very risky exchanges. I mean, all the ones you've never heard of. And then, of course, you have like, Binance International, which I would say that's probably the safest one as far as like international exchanges. Then if you're a U.S. customer, I would say, you got like... the safest, in my opinion, even safer than Binance.us, is probably Coinbase, because Coinbase doesn't have their own token. A lot of times, these exchanges get into problems with their own token. So I would actually feel pretty safe just using Coinbase. I like Binance.us because they have like Theta and all those other coins. But like I said, I've taken all my Theta off Binance, and that's now in a hardware wallet. And then you have Gemini, which doesn't have too many coins. I think they just have like Ethereum, Litecoin, and like Bitcoin on Gemini, if I'm not mistaken, like a few other ones. But folks, now is the time, not your keys, not your crypto. You can't be messing around, because who knows what's going to go next. If Crypto.com goes under, that might set off a cascade of where like some other exchanges go under. And I'm not saying Crypto.com is going to go under, but you just have to be safe at this point. So here you go, CZ, Binance, and Sailor urge for crypto self-custody. Like I said, all the problems right now are pretty much because of people not using self-custody. If people just held their own coins, none of this would be happening. So that's the one takeaway from all this. You just have to basically hold your own money. And then you have Sam Bankman-Fried. I mean, I don't know what the hell. Like I said, he's on house arrest right now in the Bahamas. Look at these posts. It almost looks like he's like fighting for his phone, or he's drunk, or he's high. I mean, this guy's obviously having like a mental breakdown, which is good because he's going to be going to jail for a long time. I do suspect, and he's probably just having a meltdown. What I think happened is he tried to flee the Bahamas. He had everything ready, and I think that's why they had that big withdrawal. That was going to go, and he was going to use that money to flee with a bunch of his cronies, and then the Bahamas police basically put him on house arrest. So now he's basically stuck in the house, and he's basically at this point just waiting to be arrested, if not already arrested. So that's kind of a stressful situation. Of course, he deserves it, but if you put yourself in his shoes, that's a stressful situation. So, the plot thickens. I haven't heard too much new news today. But as far as the markets, Bitcoin's basically still hanging out about 16,000. We hit 17,000 this morning, then dumped right back down. I'm kind of hoping for a little bit of a relief rally because I do have some coins that I might want to unload a little bit because I do think we're going to go lower. But if not, that's fine too. But yeah, folks, uncharted territories. I got that feeling in the pit of my stomach like I did during the COVID dump because there's so much uncertainty and scariness. But I'm chugging along. I'm buying the dips. My next buy level, like I've been saying, is 14,000 for Bitcoin, then 12, and I'm looking for my 20-cent Cardano, which I think I'm probably going to get at this point, but there's no guarantee. A lot of people say to me, like, oh, Mike, why don't you just sell your Cardano right now and buy back in at 15 or 20 cents? Okay, well, what if it doesn't go to 15 or 20 cents? Then everything I've been working towards the last couple of years goes right into the shitter. So I sell everything right now, which may turn out to be a great idea. It could work out great. But what if I go to bed tonight and then, tomorrow Cardano's back up to 40 or 50 cents? And it's just like, I'm not playing that game, guys. I'm doing just fine. If I lose all my money in crypto, I'm going to be doing just fine. I have about 20% of my net worth in crypto, so I'll be doing just fine. And you really shouldn't have much more than that. But you always have to have money on the side so you can buy lower, and I knew this was coming since last year. If you watch my YouTube videos, I just knew this bear market was coming, so I've been prepared for it. I don't know what the exact low is going to be. I don't know what exactly is going to happen, but all I can say is I was prepared. I wasn't prepared 4 years ago, but I'm prepared this time, and I'm going to kill it in 2024. And that's pretty much it, folks. Like and subscribe, and have a good day.